In this video, I'm going to show you how you can disable the Gutenberg editor on your WordPress site without needing any plugin. So what I'm going to show you here is 2 lines of code that will disable the editor and it will revert back to the classic editor. It is very simple. You don't have to know any technical details about it. Just copy and paste and it will work. So let's get into it. Alright, what you need to do now is go to your WordPress dashboard and then click on the appearance and then select theme file editor. So this is the page where you can edit the code of your theme, but do keep in mind that this tutorial is for anyone that is using third-party WordPress themes, because first-party WordPress themes like 2023 or 2024 employs a site-wide editing technique, and basically the way you modify the theme is rather different, and unfortunately I cannot cover that in this tutorial. But for everybody else, this tutorial is very simple. So if you open this page, sometimes there will be a warning to remind you that editing this page can be risky. So if that appears, just click the I understand button and then the message will be gone. And after that, you have to visit the theme functions page or functions.php. And after that, you have to scroll down to the very bottom, all the way to the bottom. And then I suggest to you to create a new line for the new code. And the code for removing the Gutenberg editor is available in the video description. You can copy from that. And I'm going to paste it here. That's it, just 2 lines of code, and then you can click update file. So this will remove the Gutenberg editor and then replace it with the classic editor. Okay, it has been updated successfully. What you need to do now is go to posts or pages, and you can add a new post, for example, and I can guarantee that you will see a classic editor. You can start making content the way you're probably comfortable with. So this is the classic editor, but what would happen to the previous content made with the Gutenberg editor? The content would still be available, but I highly recommend to not edit anything using the classic editor because it will mess up everything. So for example, I have this homepage made using the Gutenberg editor. So I'm going to give you a context here. The homepage look like this. So there are, let's say, 3 images. And if you look at the classic editor, yes, there are 3 images, but they are not positioned in a way similar to what it would appear on the live page. So that's why it is not recommended to edit any content made using Gutenberg editor in the classic editor. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is when you are updating your theme, the code that you have implemented will be removed. So every time you update the theme, you probably have to go back and then copy and paste the code again. It can be annoying, but there is one solution, which is using a plugin called Code Snippets. So this is a very popular WordPress plugin where people usually use it to put a code in their website in the easiest and safest way. The reason is that you can, for example, you can enable or disable the code on your website at will anytime you want. So this is the plugin. This is the page that contains many codes that are available on my WordPress site. So one of them is disable Gutenberg editor. You can see it here. And I can just using this toggle to disable or enable the feature. It's very simple and you don't have to worry about updating the theme or updating the website because the code would still be there. It's being handled by this fantastic plugin. But then again, this is completely optional. You can use the traditional method of copy and pasting code. If you're not updating the theme very often, then I think that should not be a problem. And maybe another way you want to know is the Gutenberg editor is pretty much the future of WordPress editor. And the classic editor has been deprecated since 2022. There will be no more support for it. And whether you like it or not, you have to start tapping into the glorious Gutenberg editor. So start using Gutenberg editor because there are plenty of useful features that will make your content creation more efficient and convenient. One feature that I like from the Gutenberg editor is the ability to create a reusable block. It's very useful, especially if you want to maintain consistency of design across pages. If you want to learn more about that, check out this video where I explain how to use the reusable block in the Gutenberg editor. Check that out.